fell asleep during history class. I remember the teacher talking about old empires, old wars, and buildings that survived longer than the people who built them. I remember the sound of chalk on the board. Then I put my head down for 1 second. When I opened my eyes, the classroom was empty. The lights were half off. The board was still covered in notes. And outside the windows, the sky was already dark. At first, I thought I had only slept through the final bell. I grabbed my bag and checked my phone. 3% battery. No signal, no missed calls. The classroom door was open. The hallway outside was silent. Not quiet, silent. No students, no teachers, no lockers slamming, no janitor downstairs. Only the buzzing lights and the sound of my shoes on the floor. I walked toward the main stairs. I knew that route. Everyone knows the fastest way out of their own school. But the stairs did not take me to the first floor. They took me back to the second. Same hallway, same broken ceiling tile, same trophy case, same history classroom at the far end, the one I had just left. I tried again. Different stairs, different hallway, same result. I told myself I was tired. I told myself I had taken a wrong turn. So I went the other way, past the science lab, past the music room, past the bathrooms. The school looked like everyone had left in the middle of doing something. A projector was still on in an empty classroom. A cup of coffee was still steaming in the teacher's lounge. In the cafeteria, one tray sat alone on a table. The gym lights were on, but no one was inside. Then a basketball bounced once. Just once. Somewhere in the dark. I did not go in. I kept walking. The main entrance should have been straight ahead, but when I reached the doors, they did not open outside. They opened into another hallway. Longer than any hallway in our school. The lights at the end flickered like they were trying to stay awake. On the wall beside the doors, there was a school floor plan. I stopped. The map showed the main building, the gym, the cafeteria, the library, the offices. But there was one room missing. Because next to the floor plan, where there should have been a blank wall, there was a classroom door. I had never seen it before. The handle was cold. I should not have opened it, but I did. Inside was a classroom, older than the rest of the school. Wooden desks, dusty floor, maps on the walls with countries I did not recognize. And at the front of the room, the blackboard was full. Not with a lesson, with rules. I did not have time to read them. I took out my phone and snapped a picture. The flash went off. Somewhere far down the hallway, a bell rang. Then I heard footsteps. Heels. Slow, sharp, coming closer. I backed out of the room and ran into the nearest classroom I could find. I shut the door behind me. The footsteps passed through the hallway, then stopped, right outside. I held my breath. For a few seconds, nothing moved. Then the footsteps continued, slowly fading away. Only then did I look at my phone. 1% battery. I opened the photo of the blackboard and zoomed in. But then something unfortunate happened.
Rule 1. If you wake after the final bell, do not use the main staircase. She waits where students are supposed to leave. Rule 2. If you hear heels in the hallway, enter the nearest classroom before the sound stops. If the sound stops outside the door, do not breathe loudly. Rule 3. If you see white chalk dust across the floor, turn back immediately. Do not cross a corridor she has already marked. Rule 4. If the intercom calls your name, stay silent. If it calls your name twice, cover your ears. If you hear your own voice answering, run. Rule 5. To leave, return to the classroom where you fell asleep before the second final bell. Sit in your original seat and keep your eyes on the board.
I swiped lower. There was one more rule.
Rule 6. If the teacher is already at the board, do not.
The phone died. The screen went black. For a second, I just stared at my reflection in it. Then the bell rang again, closer this time. I did not think anymore. I ran. The hallway outside had changed. The lockers were open, the lights were flickering. Behind me, the heels started again. The intercom clicked on. It said my name once. I covered my ears and kept running. It said my name again. This time, it sounded like me. I turned the corner and stopped. A thin white line of chalk dust stretched across the floor ahead. I turned back before my foot touched the dust. The bell rang again. Then I saw it. My history classroom. The door was open. The same desks, the same board, the same bag on the floor beside my chair. I ran inside and sat in my original seat. For 1 second, everything stopped. The hallway went silent. The lights stopped flickering. Even the intercom went quiet. I kept my eyes on the board, just like Rule 5 said. Then I saw her. The teacher was already standing at the front of the room, facing the blackboard. Not writing, not moving, just standing there. And suddenly, I remembered the 6th rule. I remembered what came after the words, "If the teacher is already at the board, do not," but it was too late. I could not move a single muscle. Not my hands, not my legs, not even my eyes. The classroom door closed behind me. The teacher opened an attendance book. The second final bell rang. The desk under my hands turned cold. She said my name. I did not answer. She said it again. I tried to cover my mouth, but my hands would not move. Then the chalk touched the board. Slowly, without turning around, she wrote my name, letter by letter. The lights went out.